Hello everyone. Again, I'm here with my second research. This time previously, I tested only 2 models, but and the data was till 2020. But now I extended my data to 2022, and now I replicated more models, and I tested the validity of more models which came into existence and which were widely tested and accepted in different markets. But now I'm testing the models via 2 different approaches. One is classical test and the second is Bayesian test. So previously, Dr. Banerjee, you were not here, and you said that India is progressing in everything. And indeed, it's progressing in the stock market as well. Because in 2022, India was on the 4th rank in MSI Emerging Market Index. But now in 2024, within 2 years, it's on 2nd rank after China. So it's progressing in everything. So anyways, again, with the introduction is again same as I previously presented, because the risk and return concept can never be changed, asset pricing concept can never be changed. So I will quickly jump on how this study is different from the previous one. So in this study, we are testing the validity of models, which is French model, 5-factor model, 6-factor model, alternate 6-factor model, Q-factor model by Hu et al., and mispricing factor model by Steinbach and Yuan. So first, how we are how we are testing the performance of these models. We are doing it via different approaches. One is classical approaches, which have been used in multiple studies by multiple authors. Second approach is Bayesian test approach, which is pretty much new in the market. Since Veritas and Schenken in 2019, they come up with these approaches for testing the models in which the factors are not common among different models. So Pharma and French also tested this approach, and now this approach is also pretty much used in the asset pricing. But again, we do not have much evidence on the Bayesian approaches. Whether it's a developed market and in emerging or frontier markets, there's very less evidence. So the main objective of testing these approaches is whether these approaches are providing the contrasting results or the complementary results. Because most of the researchers said that these approaches are providing contrasting results, but most of the authors said no, they are providing the complementary results. So we will see if the complementary results are provided, it means the results, whichever we are getting related to any model is, it shows that the results are robust. The results are valid, whether we are testing via classic time series or whether we are testing through Bayesian approaches. So again, we have tested these models in the Pakistani stock market because, as I previously said in our previous research, that most of the studies are on the US market and it's considered a home biasness as well. So it's on the Pakistan stock market. Okay, so methodology, all the data is collected from Thomson Reuters, and the period is from 2000 to 2022. The data has been cleaned using static information, and then we have used the guidelines of Inc and Kotra as well to clean the data. And then after cleaning the data, we tested whether one model is able to explain the factors of the other models. This is time series, this is classic approach. And then we use the Bayesian approach. And in Bayesian approach, the test that we have used is pairwise model and multiple model comparison test. You can see here's a list of different measures that we have employed for testing the performance of the model. Okay, again in this table we can see that the market size and value factors, value effects are present in the Pakistani stock market. Otherwise, other effects are not present in the market. If you look here, SMB and ME, they both are representing size effects. So we can see that overall size effect and value effect and market effects is present in the Pakistani stock market. Other effects are not present. Again, this is correlation, as I previously said. All the factors from the same model have correlation less than 0.7, which means there is no multipolarity issue. Now, if you look at the classic approach here, first we have regressed the factors of 2-factor model on the remaining models. We can see here, mainly we have to focus on the T-stat. We can see that none of the factor of 2-factor model is a unique factor because all other models can explain the factors of 2-factor model. But if you look at here, the GRS test and other metrics, we can see that French alternate 6-factor model FF6CB has performed better than the remaining models in explaining the 2-factor models. But in short, Two-factor factors are not unique, which doesn't possess any unique information. If we look at the Fama French factors, we can see that all the factors are pretty much explained by the competitor models, but there is one factor which is value factor. It cannot be explained by either model. And yes, we previously saw that value effect is a very pronounced effect which is present in the Pakistani stock market. If we look at here, GRF and other metrics, we can see that both the models can explain the joint factors of Fama French fixed factor model. But if you look at here, then two-factor model is somewhat better able to explain the joint factors of Fama French models. Now here we have regressed mid-pricing factor model on the remaining models. Again, there is no such unique information in the factors of mid-pricing factor model, and the model that has performed well in explaining the factors of mid-pricing factor model is Fama French three-factor model. Now from here, from the time series, from the classic approach, we can see that two-factor model doesn't have any unique information, mid-pricing factor model doesn't have any unique information. In Fama French, value factor is a factor which has a unique information. And alternate six-factor model and two-factor model has performed well. Now here we have the Bayesian approach, which is basically based on the Sharpe ratio. We can see here that the Sharpe ratio of value and size factor are the highest ratios. Now, if we look at the Sharpe ratio of the factor model, here the model which has the highest Sharpe ratio is the dominant model. We can see that the highest Sharpe ratio is of Fama French alternate six-factor model and Fama French six-factor model. And this model has also performed well in the classic approaches as well. Now, if we look at here pairwise model comparison, here you can see negative signs. These negative signs are indicating that the model in the column is better than the model in the row. So we can see here that the highest Sharpe ratios are of alternate six-factor model and two-factor model. Then here, if you look at the multiple model comparison test, here we can see that two-factor model has the highest maximum Sharpe square ratio and alternate six-factor model has the highest Sharpe square ratio. Now we have some test of robustness. In all the tests of robustness, we can again see that alternate six-factor model and two-factor model are the outperforming models. These robustness tests are basically in different subsample analysis. So in short, we can see that whether it was classical approach, whether it was Bayesian approach, in both approaches, they are providing the complementary results. They are not providing contrasting results. In both approaches, we can see that alternate six-factor model and two-factor model are dominant in the Pakistani stock market. So, and yes, these results are, previous approaches have, previous authors have also documented here. We can see that Fletcher said Fama French six-factor model was a dominant model. Here we can see that Barry said alternate six-factor model was a dominant in the US market. Here we can see again, this is from different international markets. Here Hanayer said that alternate six-factor model and six-factor model were the dominant in the different international stock markets. And again, if we see here, I don't know why this presentation part is missing, but there are different authors who prove that both approaches are providing complementary results. And so is the case in Pakistani stock market as well. We have complementary results from both the approaches. That is it.
Good job.